I'm Millie, I'm 16 and I am in recovery from anorexia. I document my recovery and try and raise awareness for eating disorders on my social media platforms. Documenting my recovery on social media has been a monumental help for me. I think one part of suffering from an eating disorder that people don't really talk about is how lonely it can be. When I was first diagnosed with anorexia about 2 years ago now, the illness prevented me from being able to go to school or to dance, and my body dysmorphia at one point was so bad that I couldn't even face leaving the house. So for months I was just at home and I had no real contact with anyone. Documenting my recovery meant that I could meet people who understood what I was going through, and I just had someone to speak to about my struggles. I would definitely say that society's beauty standards do have a role to play in the development of disordered eating. From a young age, I think that it's drilled into us that thin equals beautiful, or that it is in some way better. But in reality, the way you look has nothing to do with your health or how beautiful you are. A big part of my recovery has definitely been trying to unlearn these beliefs and trying to basically reteach myself. I would definitely say that our society is fatphobic, and this isn't just on a personal level. Our government and our health system really amplifies these fatphobic beliefs because there is this massive focus on weight loss equaling health. After the lockdown, when young people were going back to school, the government actually put an initiative in place to help children lose any weight that they lost over the lockdown. Over the past couple of years, eating disorder rates have skyrocketed, and yet people still aren't making the connection between encouraging kids to lose weight and the development of eating disorders. It's really dangerous to be weighing kids at school and telling them that them gaining a couple of pounds is unhealthy. I think this is just due to the stigma that is around eating disorders and the stereotypes that are in place at the moment. There is this stereotype that all eating disorders sufferers are underweight and white and female, when in reality anorexia only actually accounts for 8% of eating disorders. Firstly, I would say you don't look how you think you look. Body dysmorphia totally gives you a false image of how you look. If I look back at photos now that I took when I was still really ill, at the time I thought I looked huge and disgusting, but now when I look at them, I just see a sick-looking girl who was just totally in denial about what she actually looked like. Secondly, I would say try and open up to as many people as possible. It's so important that you create a safe and supportive system of people around you. Also, please do not wait to get help. You don't need to wait until you feel thin enough or ill enough to reach out for help for your eating disorder. Eating disorders are life-threatening. Anorexia kills 1 in 5 of its sufferers. So please don't think that you're invincible. Also, be prepared for unhelpful and potentially triggering comments that you may receive if you reach out for help for your eating disorder. When I first tried to reach out for help for my own eating disorder, my concerns were totally shut down by the GP that I went to see, and I wasn't even given a referral to the mental health services, even though I was really ill, and that was simply just because my weight wasn't low enough. It continued like this until it got to the point where I had to be hospitalised for my eating disorder, and even then the nurse that saw me told me that she wasn't worried because I looked fine. even though my heart was in serious danger. So please just be prepared for unhelpful comments and don't be afraid to push to get some help. Just because they are mental health professionals or just general health professionals, it doesn't necessarily mean that they know best. So yeah, don't be afraid to push for help because it's well within your right to do so. I would say try and research and follow people online who are really trying to make a difference. It's really easy to feel disheartened when you see like the current state of our mental health system and the shocking lack of funding that it receives. But there are so many amazing people out there who are trying and succeeding in making a difference. I would also say that do not underestimate the impact that you can make, even if you only manage to educate one other person on the impact that eating disorders can have and just trying to break down some of the stereotypes surrounding them. That's one less person who is going to feed into the stigma that surrounds eating disorders. There are also so many petitions online that you can sign to try and help make a change.